Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel that is all about medical. So subscribe the channel, share and like the videos. So guys, this is our first question and you have to tell the answer. You can comment me or you can write in your notebooks. So and I will upload all the answers in the last end part of the video. So this is the first question and the question is, the nurse is caring for a client scheduled for removal of the pituitary gland. The nurse should be particularly alert for, and the options are: option A is nasal congestion, B is abdominal tenderness, C is muscle tetany, and the D is oliguria. So you have to make your notes and or you can comment me answer and I will upload all the answers in the end part of this video. So guys, this is our next question, and before starting our next question I just want to tell you that please do comment. And actually it's very disappointing when you people don't respond, don't give feedback, because it takes too long time and it's take too hard works to in making videos. So please subscribe the channel and share and like the videos and give your feedback. And if there is any problem in my videos and there is any need to improve my videos so that I can do it. So uh, please subscribe the channel, share and like the videos, do comments, give your feedback. So let's start our second question, and the second question is: a client with cancer is admitted to a oncology unit. Stat lab values reveal hemoglobin level is 12.6, WBC 6500, potassium is 1.9 and uric acid is 7, sodium is 136 and platelets are 1,78,000. So the nurse evaluates that the client is experiences which of the following, and your options are: A hypernatremia, B hypokalemia, C myelosuppression, and the D leukocytosis. So write your answer quickly. And here is the third question. Third question is: a 24-year-old female client is scheduled for surgery in the morning. Which of the following is the primary responsibility of the nurse? Option A is taking the vital signs, B is obtaining the permit, C is explaining the procedure, and the D is checking the lab work. And the fourth question is: the nurse is working in the emergency room when a client arrives with severe burns of the left arm, hands, face, and neck. Which action should receive priority? A. Starting an IV, B. Applying oxygen, C. Obtaining blood gases, and D is medicating the client for pain. So guys, I just want to tell you these questions are very important from the examination point of view, so must watch the video till the end. And this is our fifth question, and the question is: the nurse is visiting a home health client with the osteoporosis. The client has a new prescription for alendronate, that is Fosamax. Which instruction should be given to the client? Option A is rest in bed after taking the medication for at least 30 minutes. Option B is avoid rapid movements after taking the medication. And option C is take the medication with water only. And the option D is allow at least 1 hour between taking the medicines and taking other medications. So these are 5 questions, and I will upload all the answer of these questions at the end of the video with their explanation. So watch the video till the end. So this is our sixth question, and the question is: the nurse is making initial rounds on a client with a C5 fracture and Crutchfield tongues. Which equipment should be kept at the bedside? Option A is a pair of forceps, B a torque wrench, and the C option is a pair of wire cutters, and the D option is a screwdriver. So the question number 7 is, an infant weighs 7 pounds at birth. The expected weight by 1 year should be, option A is 10 pounds, option B is 12 pounds, option C is 18 pounds, and option D is 21 pounds. And here is our question number 8, which is, a client is admitted with Ewing's sarcoma. Which symptoms would be expected due to this tumor's location? Option A is hemiplegia, option B is aphasia, option C is nausea, option D is bone pain. So the 9th question is, the nurse is caring for a client with epilepsy who is being treated with carbamazepine, that is Tegretol. Which laboratory value might indicate the serious side effects of this drug? Option A is uric acid of 5 mg per deciliter, option B is hematocrit of 33%, and the option C is WBC, that is 2000 per cubic millimeter, and the option D is platelets 1,50,000 per cubic millimeter. And the question number 10th is, a 6-month-old client is admitted with possible intussusception. Which question during the nursing history is least helpful in obtaining information regarding this diagnosis? Option A is, tell me about his pain. Option B is, what does his vomit look like? Option C is, describe his usual diet. Option D is, have you noticed changes in his abdominal size? So what's your answer? Just comment fast. And the 11th question is, the nurse is assisting a client with diverticulosis to select appropriate foods. Which food should be avoided? Option A is bran, option B is fresh peaches, option C is cucumber salad, option D is yeast roll. And the question number 12th is, a client has rectal cancer and is scheduled for an abdominal perineal resection. What should be the priority of nursing care during the post-op period? Option A is teaching how to irrigate the ileostomy. Option B is stopping electrolyte loss in the incisional area. Option C is encouraging a high fiber diet. Option D is facilitating perineal wound drainage. So before starting our 13th question, I just want to tell you that we will discuss only 20 questions in this video. So let's start our 13th question, which is, the nurse is performing discharge teaching on a client with diverticulitis who has been placed on a low roughage diet. Which food would have to be eliminated from this client's diet? Option A is roasted chicken, option B is noodles, option C is cooked broccoli, and option D is custard. So I think you all are not getting bored from these questions. So guys, here is our question number 14, which is, the nurse is caring for a new mother. The mother asks why her baby has lost weight since he was born. The best explanation of the weight loss is, option A is, the baby is dehydrated due to polyuria. Option B is, the baby is hypoglycemic due to lack of glucose. Option C is, the baby is allergic to the formula the mother is giving him. And your option D is, the baby can lose up to 10% of weight due to meconium stool, loss of extracellular fluid, and initiation of breastfeeding. So tell your answer. And the question number 15 is, the nurse is caring for a client with laryngeal cancer. Which finding ascertained in the health history would not be common for this diagnosis? Option A is foul breath, option D is dysphagia, Option C is diarrhea. Option D is chronic hiccups. And here is our 16th question number, which is a removal of the left lower lobe of the lung is performed on a client with lung cancer. Which post-operative measure would usually be included in the plan? Option A is closed chest drainage. Option B is a tracheostomy. Option C, a mediasternal tube. Option D is percussion, vibration and drainage. And our next question, which is question number 17, and the question is 6 hours after birth, the infant is found to have an area of swelling over the right parietal area that does not cross the suture line. The nurse should chart this finding as A. Option is A. Cephalohematoma. B is molding. C. Option is subdural hematoma. And the option D is caput succedaneum. And our question number 18 is here now. But before starting this question, I just want to tell you that why I'm uploading all the answers of this question at the last part of the video, because you can check your knowledge by this method. So let's start the question number 18, which is the nurse is assisting the RN with discharge instructions for a client with an implantable defibrillator. What discharge instructions is essential? Option number A is you cannot eat food prepared in a microwave. Option number B is you should avoid moving the shoulder on the side of the pacemaker site for 6 weeks. And the option number C is you should use your cell phone on your right side. And option number D is you will not be able to fly on a commercial airliner with the defibrillator in place. And here is the question number 19, which is a client in the cardiac step down unit requires suctioning for excess mucus secretions. The nurse should be most careful to monitor the client for which dysrhythmia during this procedure. Option A is bradycardia, option B is tachycardia, option C is premature ventricular beats, and the option D is heart block. So here is our last question, question number 20. As I told you that we will discuss only 20 questions in this video. So our last question is the nurse is caring for a client scheduled for a surgical repair of a saccular abdominal aortic aneurysm. Which assessment is most crucial during the preoperative period? Option A is assessment of the client's level of anxiety. Option B is evaluation of the client's exercise tolerance. Option C is identification of peripheral pulses. And the option D is assessment of bowel sound and activity. And now your wait is over. So as I told you that I will discuss all the answer and their explanation at the end part of the video. So let's start and discuss about the answers and their explanation respectively. And as you can see, the question number 1 just above the explanation, and the answer of question number 1 is A, that is nasal congestion, and its explanation is removal of the pituitary gland is usually done by a transsphenoidal approach through the nose. Nasal congestion further interferes with the airway, and the answers B, C and D are not correct because they are not directly associated with the pituitary gland. So this was the explanation of the question number 1, and check your answer what you have right. And the answer of question number 2 is B. It means hypokalemia. And its explanation is hypokalemia is evident from the lab values listed. The other laboratory findings are within the normal limits, making answer A, C, and D incorrect. So, the answer of the question number 3 is option A is correct, and the explanation is the primary responsibility of the nurse is to take the vital signs before any surgery. The action in answer B, C, and D are the responsibility of the doctor and therefore are incorrect for this question. And the answer of the question number 4, option B, is correct, that is applying oxygen. And the explanation is the client with burns to the neck needs airway assessment and supplemental oxygen. So applying oxygen is the priority. The next action should be to start an IV and medicate for pain, making answer A and C incorrect. Answer D, obtaining blood gases, is ordered by the doctor. Now let's come to the question number 5, and the answer C is correct, that is take the medication with the water only. And the explanation is Fosamax should be taken with water only. The client should also remain upright for at least 30 minutes after taking the medication. Answer A, B, and D are not applicable to taking Fosamax and thus are incorrect. And here is the answer of question number 6, and the answer is option number B is correct, that is a torque wrench. And the explanation is that a torque wrench is kept at the bedside to tighten and loosen the screw of Crutchfield tongs. This wrench controls the amount of pressure that is placed on the screw. A pair of forceps, wire cutter, and a screwdriver in answers A, C, and D would not be used and thus are incorrect. And here is the answer of question number 7, and the answer D is correct, that is 21 pounds. A birth weight of 7 pounds would indicate 21 pounds in 1 year or triple his birth weight. Answer A, B, and C therefore are incorrect. And the answer of question number 8 is option D is correct, that is bone pain. And the explanation is sarcoma is a type of bone cancer, therefore bone pain would be expected. Answer A, B, and C are not specific to this type of cancer and that's why are incorrect. And now let's come to the question number 9, and the answer is C, option is correct, which is WBC 2000 per cubic millimeter. And the explanation of this is Tegretol can suppress the bone marrow and decrease the white blood cell count. Thus, a lab value of WBC 2000 per cubic millimeter indicates side effects of the drug. Answer A and D are within normal limits and answer B is a lower limit of normal. Therefore, answer A, B, and D are incorrect. Now, hope you all are checking your knowledge and matching your answers. So, let's start with the question number 10, and the answer is C. C option is correct, that is describe his usual diet. And the explanation for this is the least helpful questions are those describing his usual diet. A, B, and D are useful in determining the extent of disease process and thus are incorrect. And here is the answer of question number 11, and the option C is correct, that is cucumber salad. And the explanation for this is the client with diverticulitis should avoid food with seeds. The foods in answers A, B, and D are allowed. In fact, bran, cereal, and fruit will prevent constipation. And now this is the explanation and answer of question number 12, and the option D is correct, and the option D is facilitating perineal wound drainage. And the explanation for this question, answer is that the client with a perineal resection will have a perineal incision. Drains will be used to facilitate wound drainage. This will help prevent infection of the surgical site. The client will not have an ileostomy, as in answer A, he will have some electrolyte loss, but treatment is not focused on preventing the loss. So answer B is incorrect. A, high fiber diet in answer C is not ordered at this time. Now question number 13, and the answer is C is correct, that is cooked broccoli. Explanation is the client with diverticulitis should avoid eating foods that are gas forming and that increases abdominal discomfort, such as cooked broccoli. Foods such as those listed in answers A, B and D are allowed. And now question number 14, and the answer is option D is correct, which is the baby can lose up to 10% of weight due to meconium stool, loss of extracellular fluid and initiation of breastfeeding. And the explanation of this is after birth, meconium stool, loss of extracellular fluid and initiation of breastfeeding cause the infant to lose body mass, and there is no evidence to indicate dehydration, hypoglycemia or allergy to the infant formula. Thus answer A, B and C are incorrect. So this was the explanation of question number 14. Now answer 15 is option C is correct, and the explanation is diarrhea is not common in client with mouth and throat cancer. All the findings in answers A, B and D are expected findings. And now let's comes to the question number 16, and the answer is A correct, that is option A is correct, and the option A is closed chest drainage. And the explanation is the client with a lung resection will have chest tubes and a drainage collection device. He probably will not have a tracheostomy or mediastinal tube, and he will not have an order for percussion, vibration or drainage. Therefore answer B, C and D are incorrect. So the answer of question number 17 is A, that is a cephalohematoma, and the explanation is a swelling over the right parietal area is a cephalohematoma, an area of bleeding outside the cranium. This type of hematoma does not cross the suture line because it is outside the cranium but beneath the periosteum. Answer B, molding is overlapping of the bone of the cranium and thus incorrect. In answer C, a subdural hematoma or intracranial bleeding is ominous and can be seen only on a CAT scan or X-ray. A caput succedaneum in answer D crosses the suture line and is edema. And now the answer of question number 18 is C. Option C is correct, that is you should use your cell phone on your right side. And the explanation is the client with an internal defibrillator should learn to use any battery operated machinery on the opposite side. He should also take his pulse rate and report dizziness or fainting. Answer A, B and D are incorrect because the client can eat food prepared in the microwave, move his shoulder on the affected side and fly in an airplane. And now question number 19, and the answer A is correct, that is bradycardia, and the explanation is suctioning can cause a vagal response and bradycardia. Answer B is unlikely and therefore not most important, although it can occur. Answer C and D can occur as well, but they are less likely. And now here is the last question, question number 20, and the answer is C, that is identification of peripheral pulses. And the explanation is the assessment that is most crucial to the client is the identification of peripheral pulses because the aorta is clamped during surgery. This decreases blood circulation to the kidneys and lower extremities. The nurse must also assess for the return of circulation to the lower extremities, and answer A is of lesser concern. Answer B is not advised at this time, and answer D is of lesser concern than answer A. And at last, I just want to tell you that subscribe the channel, like the video, hit the bell icon so that you can get the notification of my new videos, and share my videos and give your feedback. And thank you so much.